This may come as a surprise to you. I have face tattoos. Yeah, dude, sorry. Subscribe. Here are 15 questions people normally ask me when they see me for the first time. One of the more common ones I get is, what made you put a tattoo on your face as opposed to somewhere else? Well, to be honest, I never thought of my face as something out of bounds when it comes to getting a tattoo. It's skin. My arm has skin, my face has skin. It's not an exclusive zone. And that is the sentiment behind the question. Everybody thinks their face is somehow like sacred and nothing should be touching there except Botox needles and shavers. And I get that, don't get me wrong, I take care of my face. I have a whole skincare routine, dude. But yeah, I never personally saw it as a no-go zone for getting tattoos. To be clear, I never looked up to anybody who has face tattoos. That's one thing people always assume about me, is that my idols or the people that I listen to, rappers or something, they probably have face tattoos and I'm trying to emulate their look. Completely untrue. I don't even listen to rap music. So I never really thought of this as a cool thing to do. That wasn't my intention behind getting face tattoos. I just decided to get one on my face. It wasn't a big life decision. It was the same decision process as getting a tattoo on my arm or my leg. The next common question I normally get is, do you ever regret it? I had one single moment a few years ago where I started researching tattoo removal places, and then I decided, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. My life isn't really affected by having a face tattoo, aside from a few other points that I will talk about in a minute. Otherwise, I don't regret it because most of the time, I don't even notice it unless I look in the mirror and really focus on my face. I'm like, oh yeah, I have a face tattoo. Probably the only thing that was ruined is my modeling career that I had in the past. Other than that, yeah, I don't regret it. No regrets. No regrets. The next question I get is, did it hurt? It actually barely hurt, to be honest with you. It's one of the least painful tattoos I've ever had to go through. That could have been the skill of the artist, but yeah man, in and out, 30 minutes, face tattoo. I was like, yo, is it in yet? The thing about tattoos and pains depends on a few things. One, how sensitive you are in that area. For example, me, I'm very sensitive on the inside of my bicep. Some people don't feel anything here. Or two, the skill of the artist, the experience, and how many years they've had operating needles and tattoo guns. The skill of a tattoo artist doesn't only depend on the type of art he makes. It also depends on how he gauges how deep he goes into the skin, which you're not supposed to be puncturing the fucking skin like that, right? The next question, do people assume you're a bad person or a scary person? I don't know if people think I'm a bad person. I'd like to think I'm not a bad person when I see me in the mirror. But quite frequently I get, oh, I thought you were quite scary and intimidating when I first met you. Obviously, people with face tattoos have a bad reputation in general, but also my resting bitch face when I'm in public is very intense and it doesn't make me very approachable. The next question I get is, do you ever get annoyed having to explain your face tattoo and the meaning? Yeah, I hate being asked what my tattoos mean. It's my business, bro. Damn, can you leave me alone? Now you might argue, hey Neil, you have a face tattoo on your face. That's where face tattoos go. Obviously, you want people to ask about it. It's not true at all. Like I said earlier, this is just another part of my skin on my body. Doesn't mean like, hey, everybody look at me, look at my face tattoo, please ask what it means. Just because you see it doesn't mean I want attention. If I put on a fancy hat and go outside, doesn't mean I want you to compliment the hat. Maybe I just feel good in it. Maybe I just feel like the tattoo is part of me. I don't need you to ask me about what it means. The only exception is probably if somebody asks about a specific tattoo, not just, oh, what do all your tattoos mean? It's just like, oh, what does this one mean? That was a cool design. Or what is that symbol on your arm? That I've seen that one before. I like that. That's cool. That means it has intention behind why they're asking, and they're not just making small talk with me in terms of, what do all your tattoos mean? Do strangers treat you differently? Yeah, I think so. If you mean strangers that I never get to know or never talk to, then I think yes, strangers do treat me differently. As a matter of fact, on most occasions, I feel like they take me a bit more seriously. I do have a bit of a baby face, so having a scary face with a face tattoo kind of helps my existence when it comes to being in public. Like I said, some people might be a little bit put off or scared when they see me for the first time. So whenever I do interact with them, they do take me seriously. On the other hand, the upper class, rich people, can be a bit snobby and look down on you if you have a face tattoo. Old white people, you know what I mean? Metaphorically, they cross the street, dude. What do your parents and family think about it? I'm gonna be honest with you, I never told my mom about it for the longest time. I live in Southeast Asia, my mom lives in North America, so obviously we don't see each other. Until the horrible day she got Instagram. She saw my face tattoo and she's like, dude, what the frick are you doing? Get all the tattoos you want, but why on your face? Which is completely justified. she's my mom. Obviously, she will be disappointed. No one wants their child to come home one day with a face tattoo, dude. That's like up there with getting a chick pregnant and doing drugs. In terms of what the rest of my family thinks, I don't really care. I could care less, dude. The only opinion that does matter is my mom's opinion. Has it ever affected job opportunities? I don't know. I never found out. It's been almost a decade since my last employment. Most of the jobs I've been working have been contract positions and mostly in nightlife. So it was either accepted as part of that industry. I don't really see any other people with face tattoos, or it was just too dark for them to see it, bro. Obviously, I have zero chances of becoming a hedge fund manager or working in an HR department. It's not gonna happen. I'm not trying to become the Minister of Education or anything. But obviously, if I do try to pursue that, it will give me a hard time in life. Otherwise, in terms of the career paths that I prefer, I have no issues. YouTube, bro. That's what's left for me. Just doing YouTube videos. Subscribe, dude. You please. Do girls like it, or does this scare them off? Maybe. I don't know. I don't really care what girls think. So some girls do say I look intimidating before they actually end up talking to me. I think there's certain types of women that avoid me, but I also, at the same time, I don't think so. I've dated a decent range of women to get a good set of data to understand that, okay, face tattoos aren't a determining factor really to most people, as long as you have a good character, you have your charisma, you have your personality, and at the center of it all, you're just a good human being. Whether you have a face tattoo, a mohawk, or bald head. Not saying bald head is a bad thing, but but yeah, in general, mature women see past all this stuff and don't really consider it a red flag or an ick or a factor in terms of dating. Do you feel like face tattoos are becoming accepted now? No, not really, but it depends on where you live. For example, in Thailand or Bali, it's basically normal to see people full of tattoos everywhere. Some places, some countries, and some cities take it less seriously than others. Obviously, if I go to like Vancouver or Washington, it's gonna be like, dude, are you from the street or something? Do people ever take photos and videos of you without asking? Dude, all the time. Oh my God, I hate it, especially here in Asia. I understand I look a bit jarring once I show up to the scene. Let's say I'm in public and I'm doing whatever, or at the gym or something. There will almost always be a dude or a girl in the corner trying to sneakily film me. And I know it. I have a sixth sense when it comes to this stuff. It pisses me off. Just be like, yo, dude, I like your look. Let me take a photo. Or maybe they're just making fun of me secretly. Either way, it pisses me off. What is the weirdest reaction you've gotten from someone? I don't have any weird reactions, to be honest. I do get the whole, when somebody notices me, like, for example, coming from the opposite direction, they'd be like, look, I get it, I have a face tattoo, but that's rough, dude. Like, I don't look that bad. One time I was at a nightclub and this group of Spanish girls came up to me and they thought I was Ozuna, the reggaeton artist. You're a fan of Ozuna? You don't even know what he looks like? Anyway, I took photos, dude. I took a lot of photos that night. Then the tattoo artist tried to talk you out of it, like saying it's a bad idea. It was his idea. He actually offered me to do it. Shout out to my boy Juriko. He owns Tattoo Ink Club in Canggu, Bali. During that time, he was trying to build up a portfolio for his Instagram and for his tattoo book. And yeah, he just asked me, dude, do you want to come over? I'll give you a free tattoo. Where do you want it? What do you want? And I'm like, yeah, dude, why don't we do one on my face? He's like, yeah, okay, that's a sick idea. If you can go back in time, would you do it again? No, man. What? Like maybe a different design or something, or a different angle or a different place in my face? Let me make something clear. Because I said I would go back in time and not do it, doesn't mean I regret it. Those are two different things. It's a different approach. I would just do it differently. Regret is an intense word. I live with my decisions. I accept what I did and it's part of my life. But if I can go back and have the choice, probably not. I don't know. The thing is, you don't know to what extent all your negatives or positives affect you in life up until this point. You don't know what role all those bad and good things about you played to get you to where you are now. Now, I don't know if my business is successful because I have a face tattoo. I don't know if, for example, I met with a collaborator or a partner. If I didn't have a face tattoo, would they have taken me seriously? Or would they have remembered me? You know, those are all things that I consider, right? If all your good and bad qualities play these micro roles in getting you to where you are now. So going back in time and changing that, you don't know if you'll be doing a good thing or a bad thing for yourself. I digress there a bit. Anyway, would you recommend I get a face tattoo? Yeah, no, this is not for everyone, bro. You'll have to deal with a lot of downsides, and to be able to deal with the downsides, your character has to be strong. Meaning, you need to be almost maxed out on the other stat points of your character. You can't just have a face tattoo. You don't have any employable skills. You don't even know how to dress. You don't know how to talk to people and make friends. You don't know how to communicate with women. You're just gonna suck. So what I'm trying to say is the only time you should decide whether or not you should get a face tattoo is if you're confident that your character is strong and you can function in society with or without a face tattoo. So again, if you want to get a face tattoo, make sure you're good in every other elements in life. Anyway, that was all. My departing words: don't get a face tattoo. I know a lot of kids out there see me and they're like, man, that's cool. I want to get one too when I'm a bit older. I know like my friends' little brothers say that to me quite frequently. And I'm like, yeah, don't do it. But they would be like, yeah, but you're doing fine with it. You have your businesses, you have your music career, you have your Instagram and your TikTok or whatever. Yeah, but don't do it. Don't make things hard for yourself if you can't handle it. I hope you, as my viewer, isn't really affected by my face tattoo. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Please don't forget to subscribe. And until my next video, I hope you take care of yourself. Be good. Do good. And remember, Epstein didn't kill himself.